And I believe more than ever that if you're a 49-year-old housewife with 2 kids, because of this phone, you've got more opportunities to create something for yourselves. Please, my friends, do not allow just the 18 and 14 and 22-year-olds to grab at this pie that is so available to all of us, regardless of our age. We're gonna live longer. The opportunity is real. For the 58-year-old right now that's watching this, you're gonna live another 40 years. 40 years of being able to do something you love is a big deal. Start putting in the work. Start recognizing this isn't just a young person's game. Start representing the people that actually put in the work, the gray hairs, that context, that knowledge. Start deploying that. Educate yourself on the new world. If you've got the right DNA and you're a 72-year-old female, you have just as good of a bat as a 27-year-old dude. But you've been trained and story told to and positioned and lived in a 50-year matter that doesn't feel like this thing in here is a practical way to build that, but it is something else. There's so many people that truly are good entrepreneurs or have entrepreneurial DNA, but they just weren't lucky enough to be born during an era that seemed practical. Like it's just so, like it's hard for somebody who's for 30 years gone a certain blueprint to understand that this is that realistic, and they feel like it's a young man's sport, and it's just not. Like, it's just not. It's, you know, in my true opinion, you are actually more likely to be successful in building a company at 45, 50 today than the 18-year-olds that are coming out because there's a naivete, a lack of experience. You have experience. You have experience. Like, that's a real thing. Like, cool. Like, youth and excitement is great. You have actual business experience. This video is made for one reason. I want it to be the calling card, the seed of the explosion of the 40 to 80-year-old entrepreneur in our society. The fire I see in the eyes of a 19, 20, 25-year-old that feels that they're entitled to this, and then on the flip side, the diminishing, just a little bit of ashes with a little smoke left of that same entrepreneur when they were 22, at 46, when practicality and family dynamics and the history and the market tearing down and the lack of that same opportunity has just dwindled down to a moment where they don't believe that they've got that shot. And I'm here to tell you, you absolutely do. I mean, there are absolutely a ton of entrepreneurs that started their companies in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s when it was difficult to do such a thing. Sidney Frank, who created Grey Goose, didn't invent his big thing until in the 70s. And I don't know, I think there's a real opportunity to inspire a generation that so deserves it. Like, I almost feel like that's being 40, I feel like I'm caught right in the middle. Like, I have so much empathy for, I recognize how insane I had to be to like, I mean, you can't even imagine how not practical being an entrepreneur was when I was your guys, like when I was half your age, like in school, like a 15-year-old now in school that's getting D's, but is like selling shit on the internet. Everyone's like, oh, there's our next, you're the next Mark Zuckerberg. And mine was like, yo, you're the next piece of shit. You know, like it's so insanely different. And so I have a lot of empathy for people that I don't know if they recognize how real it is. You only live once. When you're 90 to 100 years old and you're regretting that you never built this business and you let this era pass, this moment where there's so much entrepreneurial upside, you'll regret it, and regret is the worst.